San Diego, California. Amid the sun-drenched streets and modern vibrancy of this coastal city stands a silent, brooding structure from another era. The Whaley House, a registered historical landmark, presents an image of antique beauty and architectural grace to the daytime observer. Built on land that was once an open field, a place of public spectacle and grim finality, its red brick walls hold more than just memories. This was once a site for executions, a patch of earth stained with the final moments of condemned men. Within this seemingly charming home, a respected family sought to build their future, their American dream. But no one could have known, no one could have foreseen, that these walls would become an eternal prison for restless souls, a vessel for sorrow that would echo through generations. This is the true story of the Whaley House, a place dubbed the most haunted house in America, where the cries of the past still echo today, refusing to be silenced by the passage of time. The history of this place is written not just in books, but in the very air within its rooms, a chilling tale of life, death, and an afterlife that offers no peace. Before the first brick of the Whaley House was laid in 1857, the ground upon which it now stands bore a dark and notorious reputation. It was the unofficial gallows of early San Diego, a grim theater where justice in its rawest form was dispensed. Criminals met their end here, their lives extinguished before a gathering crowd. Among the most infamous of these public spectacles was the hanging of James Yankee Jim Robinson, a tall man convicted of grand larceny due to his height. The execution was horribly botched. The gallows were too short, and instead of a quick, humane death, Yankee Jim was slowly strangled, his feet scraping the ground as he fought for breath for nearly 45 minutes. It is believed that his tormented, agonized spirit never left this patch of earth, forever bound to the site of his brutal end. Unaware, or perhaps simply undeterred by the land's grim history, a pioneering businessman named Thomas Whaley purchased the plot. He saw potential where others saw only a macabre past. With ambition and hope, he built his dream home, a grand two-story Greek revival residence that would also serve as a general store and San Diego's first commercial theater. As Thomas, his wife Anna, and their growing family moved into their new home, they inadvertently created a focal point for the supernatural, a nexus where the veil between worlds would become perilously thin. The misfortunes, it seems, began the moment they crossed the threshold, for they were not the only residents. The foundations of their new life were built upon a foundation of profound misfortune, and the shadows of the past were long and unforgiving. Within the very walls that were meant to be a sanctuary of familial warmth, the Whaley family was besieged by a relentless tide of tragedy. The house, which should have been filled with the laughter of children and the hum of a happy life, instead became a repository for profound grief. The first devastating blow came with the death of their son, Thomas Whaley Jr., who was just 18 months old when he succumbed to scarlet fever in an upstairs bedroom. The loss of their infant son cast a permanent pall of sorrow over the family, a wound that would never fully heal. Years later, tragedy struck again, this time claiming their vibrant daughter, Violet, after a whirlwind romance and marriage to a man who proved to be a con artist. Violet returned to the family home, abandoned and deeply shamed by the public scandal, plagued by a severe depression she could not overcome. She took her own life in the house on a somber morning in 1885. These two tragic deaths left an indelible psychic scar upon the property. To this day, countless visitors, staff members, and paranormal investigators report encounters with the spirits of children within the house. The faint sound of giggles is often heard from empty rooms, and the soft patter of small footsteps can be detected on the upper floors when no one is there. Many believe the spirit of young Thomas Jr. still plays in his former home, a benign and curious presence from a life cut short. In stark contrast, the spirit of Violet is often described as a tormented soul, a sorrowful figure seen in the room where she died, forever trapped in her final moments of despair. The spectral residents of the Whaley House are not limited to the family that gave it its name. The most frequently reported and perhaps most imposing entity is that of the man who died on the land long before the house was ever conceived. The spirit of Yankee Jim Robinson is a formidable and constant presence. Both the Whaley family themselves and modern-day visitors have documented encounters with him. Thomas Whaley himself reported hearing the heavy, clomping footsteps of a large man pacing through the halls, sounds he attributed to the lingering ghost of Yankee Jim. Many have seen his shadowy, tall figure wandering the downstairs area, particularly near the courtroom that once operated within the home. His presence is often accompanied by a sudden, oppressive feeling in the air, a sense of being watched by an unseen and resentful entity. Alongside him, the matriarch of the family, Anna Whaley, is also believed to still haunt her beloved home. Having outlived her husband and several of her children, her life was one marked by enduring loss. Her spirit is often seen as a graceful but melancholic apparition, a lady in a long dress gazing out of an upstairs window or descending the main staircase, a talented musician in life. Anna's presence is strongly associated with her cherished piano. Visitors have reported seeing the keys move on their own, or hearing faint, sorrowful melodies drifting from the parlor when the room is empty. Paranormal investigators, armed with modern technology, have captured a wealth of evidence corroborating these claims. EVP, or electronic voice phenomenon, sessions have yielded recordings of faint voices, disembodied whispers, and intelligent responses to questions, providing chilling confirmation that these lost souls are still very much present. Today, the Whaley House stands as a premier destination for ghost hunters and those with a curiosity for the paranormal. It draws thousands of visitors each year, and a staggering number of them leave with a personal story of an encounter they cannot explain. The house is a hotbed of paranormal activity, and the spirits within are not shy. Countless photographs have been taken that seem to capture more than just dust and light. These images show what many believe to be genuine photographic evidence of the afterlife. Inexplicable, shadowy figures lurking in doorways, strange orbs of light floating in mid-air, and even mysterious spectral faces appearing in mirrors and windows upon later inspection. The physical sensations reported by tourists are just as compelling. Many people describe walking into a room and experiencing a sudden, dramatic drop in temperature, an abnormal cold spot that has no logical source. Others have reported the unnerving feeling of being gently pushed or touched by an unseen force, a light tug on their clothing, or the sensation of breath on the back of their neck. Disembodied whispers are frequently heard, sometimes seeming to call out names or speak directly into a visitor's ear. The Whaley House is not just a historical museum preserving the artifacts of a bygone era. For many, it is a gateway to the other side, a place where the barrier between our world and the spirit world is almost non-existent. And the residents from that other side are not shy about making their presence known. The Whaley House stands today, a stoic and silent sentinel on a busy San Diego street, a chilling reminder of the profound tragedies that unfolded within its walls. As night falls, it takes on a different character. Its windows like dark eyes staring out into a world that has moved on, a world it can no longer be a part of. The spirits of the Whaley family, the restless soul of Yankee Jim Robinson, and possibly many others, remain trapped within these historic confines. They are prisoners of their own past, forever seeking the peace they never found in life, and have been denied in death. The Whaley House is more than just a tourist attraction or a collection of historical facts. It is a living museum of souls, a place where the past is vividly, terrifyingly alive and relentlessly haunting the present. It begs the question of all who hear its story, all who contemplate crossing its threshold. Do you dare to visit the Whaley House? Do you dare to walk its haunted halls and feel the palpable presence of souls that will never, ever rest?